Another day, another discussion. We're coming to you from the lovely Pepinero restaurant located at Line Grove Lifestyle Center. And today's discussion is centered around something that I call the devil. We are talking social media. With me to my far right, he is the winner actually of our entrepreneur host competitions. His name is Krishna Ward. And next to me is a gentleman who really does not need any form of introduction. He is by far one of the biggest young photographers there is in Barbados. He goes by the name Shane Leacock, otherwise known as Leaky. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me here today.
No problem.
Now, like I said, social media is the devil. Some days you see something that is, oh my goodness, so beautiful. And other days you see something that's, oh my god, so terrible. Let's talk Instagram first of all. Is it more of a harm than it is a help?
Well, I mean, let me start, bro. If you have a girlfriend, it's a harm. It's a harm. I mean, I can be scrolling down, just browsing, I mean, it just feels so natural to click like on a picture, but by the time, you butt up with your girlfriend later, trust me, that little clicking, that'll run you in some trouble. That will run you in some trouble. Definitely.
Your thoughts here, Leaky, social media, Instagram, help or harm?
Well, luckily my girlfriend is a little more lenient in terms of liking photos and everything. My job photographer, so I always give me on Instagram and social media. But I like social media. I believe in social media.
All right, gentlemen.
For me, social media. In terms of Instagram, well, me, I like Instagram a lot. My Instagram is where I post my work.
Yeah, we see those photos. Now we get in trouble with them. We see those photos.
Those are the ones. Those are definitely the ones.
But yeah, so I like Instagram. Definitely way forward,
Alright, and then moving forward, gentlemen, so we see the social aspect of it, but today we're going to focus more so, I guess, on the business side of it.
Yeah.
Has social media presented itself as the way forward for young entrepreneurs? Is that the go-to place? If your business is not on Instagram, if it is not on Facebook, can your business be successful?
Well, I think personally, it's just a matter of adapting to the current situation. And what a lot of business people will find is Instagram is where everyone is. So why not, sign up, put your business out there and get that publicity? I think that it's just a simple equation for a lot of business people out there, and it works for them. I'm sure Leaky can attest to that, because that's how he gains a lot of his popularity. His stuff is on Instagram. We also have some other people. I would have interviewed Jordan from JE Marketing, and he does his stuff on Instagram as well. So, I think it's positive in that regard.
Yeah, I agree pretty much 100%. But I won't say Instagram is the only way. You know what I mean? Radio ads sell out there. You can do some radio ads to get the word out there. Posters and stuff in the newspaper as well. I mean, us the younger generation, we don't really read newspapers too often. But you find the odd folk that would pick up a newspaper, buy a newspaper, or look for something. But definitely in terms of going forward, Instagram. Because for me, for example, I don't really do much advertising in terms of my work. Not really ads really. Just to keep posting on Instagram, keep the quality up, keep the posting regular, and business will come through, man.
Yeah, and then even further to that, specifically for you, Leaky, did you find that there was a real challenge in building your portfolio using social media?
Not quite. Well, it took me some time, but from the time I decided I want to go photography full time, I knew it was going to take some time to build and come forward. So maybe about 3-4 years I've been doing photography, so I'm at this stage now. But I don't really have a challenge in terms of advertising by social media. A more challenge was in terms of finding models willing to work with me that we both looking to advertise. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's interesting you say a challenge finding girls to model, because these days, the terms that we can't really use right now on television, but this Instagram seems to be a place of work.
Well, I'm just gonna answer right now. Can I use the term rap boxing? Because Joel's gonna be on the bush, but I want to get straight to the meat. Can I use rap boxing? I mean, come on. This is what's going on these days. These girls are out there. Some of them, posting, a little extra or whatever, and
it's
these
not
terms,
extra. They're posting a lot less. They're really posting extra. They're posting a lot less.
They're posting a lot less.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know, it seems like the thing of the day, so
I see why you're getting in trouble. But thanks a lot, gentlemen. That's just the beginning of our discussion. We're going to go to a very short commercial break, but when we come back, we're talking social media. Crosstalk, and today's topic is a hot one. It is social media. Just before we went to break, we heard a term that I will not repeat. But that brings me into my third question. We're talking about the content that we actually post on our social media. Tristan, you as a journalist, Leahy as a photographer. Let's start with you, Tristan. Do you believe you have a social responsibility to those who actually follow your platform? With the content that you actually post?
Well, I think it's important because you never know who's out there looking, who's watching you. Me personally, if you check out my Twitter profile, maybe for example, you'll find I love football. I always talk about football. I see no harm in it most of the time, and really and truly, anything that might be a bit scandalous, I guess, you'll talk it around rap boxes maybe. I try not to bring that up on there. I keep those ones to myself, to private conversations. Instagram, for example, usually it's just pics of me going out, parties, that kind of stuff. So I think it's important, especially people who are known, for them to keep it, I don't want to say PG, but still be aware of who's watching you. I think that's important.
Okay. How about you, Leahy? Everything about it, as a photographer, there's the possibility of some nude shoots, there's some other things, So do you think you have a social responsibility, what you actually post on your social profiles?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with Tristan 100%. Sometimes you shoot and you got a nice shot, but then you realize it might be a bit too revealing, or you know what I mean. So you rather take it easy and okay, so I won't post this one, because as I will have a large clientele in here, large following and stuff. So as Tristan said again, you don't know who's watching, you don't know who's looking, you don't know who could be watching in the future. So I try to keep it nice and journal, kind of keep everybody happy.
Right, no problem.
Try not to be too scandalous or anything. I use Twitter as well, but Twitter is just as Tristan said again. I'm a big football fan too, so more football, more jokes with my friends and that kind of vibe. But Instagram a bit more business wise, going forward with it.
All right, and then moving forward also in the conversation, gentlemen, we think about now the full-up business aspect of it. Would you recommend utilizing social media now as the way to go forward in business? If you think again as your journalism, as your photography, would you consider Leahy, setting up what would be a studio for your work and that kind of stuff? So should Instagram, not really Instagram, but should social media right now be the focus? We also think about a lot of the comedians that are coming out now, Seth Excel, the Lord Zeng, and we think about them utilizing social media as their platform, their driver. So when we think about it in a global context, especially, from a small island going forward, should we utilize social media to drive our businesses forward?
I think personally it's just a matter of looking out there and seeing what works, and what's working right now is definitely pushing your business through social media. I think, and it doesn't even have to do with just photography. In a lot of different areas you see people utilizing social media. It's a free platform in most cases, and I personally just don't see anything wrong with it. I support it, I would encourage it, and I think that's the right way to go right now.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Once it's used in the correct manner, once it's used for positive vibes and positive energies and nothing negative, definitely way forward, man, for sure.
Alright guys, as we start to wind down our little conversation, would you say that you have any tips for those who would consider utilizing, like for you, Leahy, any tips for any young photographers who want to start out and start to use your Instagram? Oh, there goes the menu. But what tips do you have for somebody who wants to start out now in business?
Tips that I have, the first tip, one thing that I always keep in mind is it's not going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? I know you got a lot of young photographers out there that, see a lot of good work and stuff and want to get there, which is understandable, but you got to take some time with it. You got to take some time, you got to take some practice, and you got to put in some work. But once you keep putting in work, put in the good work, the quality, then you can reap your rewards eventually, yeah.
How about you, Tristan? Any tips for anybody out there?
Well, I think overall one of the things that I keep important and keep in the back of my mind is maintaining relationships with people. But specific to social media, I think it's important to focus on that fact where we said that, be mindful of who's watching you, So when you post your stuff, when you post your content, try to keep it, neutral. You understand?
Right.
Stuff that everyone can, kind of sign on to. You understand what I'm saying?
Well.
Exactly. So that's what I think is important. Maintaining relationships, but also being mindful of who's watching your social media profiles when you're promoting your business. That's important.
Actually, it's quite funny that I actually have you sitting down here in this social media discussion because it's social media that brought you here. He's actually the winner of our entrepreneur competition.
It's true.
Happened through social media.
It's true.
So I guess it's an effective platform, to be honest.
I think so.
Tell social media thank you.
Thank you, social media.
Well, guys, as we wrap up, I just want to say thank you for having this very informative discussion with me. You know, it has been one riveting discussion on social media. As we look out there, a lot of young people are using it for, I mean, we see fights, we see so many different things on social media, but please use it positively, guys. You know, it can definitely be help, as you can see from Tristan and from Nikki. Probably 11K followers now. Somewhere. This guy is, well, when I tell you this guy is well known, believe you me, he does not go anywhere without somebody saying, can I have your picture, please? And some of the girls takes, my goodness, double tap. But anyways, thank you for joining us. You know, when we come back from commercial break, we head into the kitchen. And of course, Tristan will be back again for the Barbados Public Workers Entrepreneur Features.
Yeah.
Until next time, guys.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong. Over the years, we've cared for you to help you meet your needs. We're trustworthy, dependable, so you can grow financially.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong.
This is where you belong.
Welcome to another episode of the Crosstalk Entrepreneur Features. Today we're here with Risha Trotman. She's going to tell us a little bit about her business, Risha's Pieces. Alright. Save it to the end. Alright, to the end. So let's go. So, first of all, I'm interested in this name, Risha's Pieces. I know about Reese's Pieces. Is that like a spin on the name?
In a sense, yes. I took it mostly off the spin off my name because I was sitting down and I was trying to figure out what should I name the business because everybody was like, what's the name, let me promote, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I was talking to one of my friends and they told me, think about it a little bit more. What do you put into it? How do you feel when you bake? And I'm like, well, I put a piece of me into everything.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I thought you'd say it again. I put a piece of myself into everything I did. There you go. Reshape pieces. I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, it sounds cool. It sounds cool.
So tell us now actually about the business, Risha's Pieces. What do you do?
Well, I make cupcakes and cakes for any occasion possible. I haven't done a business yet. I just started, so I'm not to that level per se. It started out as just my mother dragging me in the kitchen. You have to help me. It started off as helping, and then I had to do it myself. You know, and it wasn't really a burden or a task for me. I actually enjoyed baking, you know, so it just started off as, oh, help me do this, help me do that, and then my friends would be like, you know, I want a chocolate cake, or I want cupcakes. I know that you bake, but, you know, you could. And then it just started off, and everyone's like, but it tastes so well, it tastes so good, why you don't start off with a business, and then we just, you know.
Okay, so I mean, obviously you kind of picked up most things from your mom. But as far as like formal training is concerned, have you had any?
None at all, actually. Everything besides what I learned from my mom, her recipes and stuff like that, everything was self-taught, and YouTube is my best friend.
For
You
a lot
know,
of people,
just
yeah.
practice makes perfect, really.
I mean, looking at the cupcakes, it's hard to believe that there's no formal training involved, this, that you actually learn this at home. Me personally, there's no hope. But, you know, I'm going to be a customer, so my question to you then becomes, what separates you from other bakers? Like, if I'm interested in getting cakes, where should I go to Risha's Pieces?
Well, firstly, to me, the customers are rich. So I am open to other ideas and stuff like that. People would see it as a challenge, but to me it's not a challenge. I take it as a way to better myself, push my limits. When it comes to the quality of cake, the texture of cake, I will not disappoint. I definitely will not disappoint.
Great.
I always get feedback about how like these cupcakes are, the taste is not too sweet, stuff like that. It's just right.
Well, I mean, I know for a lot of business people, they kind of live in the now and not so much so looking towards the future. But do you have an end goal for Riches Pieces?
Yes, I do have an end goal. I would love to open my own store. I want it to be like a brand. This is a brand. Riches Pieces is a brand. You will hear that name, and yes, you have good quality, good customer service. Everything that you can think about when it comes to cake, cupcakes, and dealing with people, that will be.
I got you. Okay, sounds good. But obviously it can't all be sunshine and flowers. So what do you find most challenging about what you do?
The biggest challenge I have right now is time, right? And because I do work to besides baking, so it's kind of hard to find time to do everything that I do, but I make it possible at least 2 hours a week, or 4 hours a week, whatever the case is. And in terms of baking, always staying ahead of, not really the competition, but staying ahead of the fads and the craze of, because there's a point where everybody wanted a quilted cake, everybody wants Hennessy. Right now, my biggest request from people are Hennessy. Everybody loves Hennessy. So it's to find new designs per se, because I don't want it that I'm giving everyone the same design or the same look. So the biggest issue that I have right now besides time is finding a different design. That each cake stands out from the next.
So I think a whole part of this show is bringing in the young entrepreneurs, but also encouraging those at home. So you stepping outside and actually doing what you love, what advice would you give to those who might be thinking of starting their own business? Okay, so definitely the first thing to do then is to laugh. But what happens after that? What do you tell people after
Basically, just enjoy what you do. If you have a passion for something, just get over there.
Right,
Just go for it, basically. You can't go wrong with what you love.
Well, guys, you heard it here. Go for it. About these cupcakes, can you get to them now? I mean, honestly, I've been waiting until 7 minutes. Thanks to the Barbados Cooperative Credit Union for sponsoring this segment, but I got something to add.
Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong. Over the years, we've cared for you to help you meet your needs. We're trustworthy, dependable, so you can grow financially.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong.